What's up there, guys? Drone worship in your face, and as you can see, I've got my 3DR Solo out in front of me here. This is my main 3DR Solo. And I got contacted by an individual through my email asking me about Polar Pro lights that he bought. He said he plugged them into the extension bay on the bottom of the Solo and they weren't working. I informed him that his extension bay probably had some kind of issue, or the Polar Pro lights had a problem. So he said the heck with it. He wanted to send them to me to see if they worked, and if they did, he would like me to do a review. So here I am. I am doing this review for him. We're going to go ahead and remain anonymous, but he did want me to check these out, so I have installed the Polar Pro lights on the Solo. As you can see, these actually clip in very easy. This is an entire plug-and-play system. So as you can see, these just kind of clip right to the front of the Solo here. See if I can get these back up here. There we go. They just plug in right to the legs. It's actually kind of crazy how these work. And same thing on the back. So there's a wire that runs all the way to the back. As you can see, another set right here. The ones on the front are white. The ones on the back are red. These are supposed to be extremely bright. And just to show you how they connect, it's that simple. They just run right to the extension on the bottom of the Solo, the extension bay. And you just plug them in and that's it. Now this one I still have to mount a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and put something here to keep that in place, but as of right now it shouldn't really affect anything. It's just going to hang down a little bit. It won't interfere with the gimbal at all, but it's definitely there. So let's turn these on and see what these look like before we take it outside. And things I'm going to be looking for when I fly, it's pitch black outside, things I'm going to be looking for is how easy these are to see and judge my orientation while it's up in the air. I do have trees out there, so we're going to get above the trees and then I'm going to kind of send it out a ways. We're going to fly it around a little bit at night in my neighborhood here and see what happens, but let's just see how bright these are. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and just see what happens. Oh wow, those are extremely bright. Holy mackerel, I was not expecting those to be so bright. That's crazy bright, like almost hurts my eyes bright. So let's wait for the gimbal here. The gimbal should stabilize here in a sec. So sit a little sideways right now while it tries to figure out what it's going to do. And I'll let it sit for a sec. Let's turn on the transmitter here. Wait for these two to connect. There we go, gimbal just centered. So we know that that's calculating correctly. So there you go, gimbal's upright. And here's the red ones on the back. So there you go. These are definitely bright. It's weird that there's one round one and all the rest are square like that. That's interesting. So we got a fully charged battery. Gimbal's working properly. And everything is good here. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Getting magnetic interference. So these are definitely bright. What I'm going to be looking for though while this is on is I do have my my lens hood on here, my sun hood is on here. I'm going to see if that helps keep this light away from that lens and see if while we're flying we're getting any kind of like light overcast from this, from having the Polar Pros on here. I have a feeling that we might be getting some light back here because if I put my finger down here I can definitely see that that's running across the main portion of the lens. I have no idea how we're getting light this far back. It's kind of crazy though, so let's take this outside for a quick flight, see what happens. I'll see you guys in a sec. Let's see if we can give these a fair, honest review, okay? Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn the Solo on. It is pitch black outside right now. Let's see how this, oh wow, okay. We'll wait till these start communicating. Should start picking up satellites. I have kind of tree cover. I know you guys can't see right now. I have tree cover all around me. So this may take a minute to get satellites, but I'll take a quick walk around. Let you see what it looks like. Definitely makes it more visible, that's for sure. It's a little easier to get picked off at night too for night flying, but at the same time it also allows birds or anything else in the air to see that you're up there. So I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely bright, that is for sure. It's going to be very easy to see orientation. Let's come over here to the transmitter and wait for this to start picking up some satellites. We currently have 0, so I will see you guys when we get some more satellites. I don't know if that's too bright for you guys to see, but I can see my entire driveway with how bright those Polar Pro lights are in front of it. That's actually kind of crazy. I just picked up 5 satellites here. We're starting to gain them here pretty quick. This hasn't been connected to anything, and couple days, so this will definitely be interesting to get this up in the air. It has been horrible. Like right now it's still cloudy up there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's just been, this is our rainy season in Florida, so it is just extremely bad weather constantly through this entire month. So getting a chance to fly means you're either doing it extremely early or extremely late. So all right, well, a couple more satellites. I just want to show you how bright that was. That is extremely bright. I can see everything on my driveway right now. That's craziness. I only have 6 satellites. It's enough to take off. Oh, I just jumped up to 8. Okay, so we're at 8 satellites. I'm good to take off. We got a position lock. I'm gonna go ahead and get above these trees here. Let's go ahead and take off. I'm gonna start a recording as well, so you guys can see how this looks here. But let's get this thing in the air and see what happens with the camera. See if we get any kind of overcast.
Gyro calibration failed.
Oh,
Ready
gyro
for takeoff.
calibration failed. Motion detected. Let's try that again. Every once in a while it'll do that to you. Press A to dismiss. Here we go.
JPKM stated. Altitude minus 0.4 inches. Speed 0.13 miles per hour. Travel 0.0 inches. Heading 274 degrees. Signal 75%. Recording active. Fly manual.
Oh, she went into manual mode here. Let's give her 1 sec. Flying her a manual, 6 satellites. Let's get her above the trees here. That way I can get some more satellites. We'll get her up in the air a little ways. Should get satellites here again in a sec. We got 8 back. Still in, there we go. GPS ready. Let's hit fly. All right. So we had to get above the trees to definitely keep signal. It's I'm not seeing any overcast, which is a good thing. Let's take her up in the air here. Yeah, guys, that's why you always want to get your solo in a nice open area. I am completely surrounded by trees right here, so whenever I take off, I always have to get above the trees. Otherwise, it goes into manual. So now I have 10 satellites, no problems. And I'm looking at the camera here. I'm not seeing any overcast. I think this actually looks good. Let's go ahead and tilt the camera down and see if we get any kind of light in it. I doubt we are going to. Nope, I'm not seeing any light. We'll get a better idea when I actually get it up in the air. But let's see how visible the lights are. We'll take it for a little flight here. Let's turn it around. Wow, man, it is just extremely bright. You could see this thing for miles. Miles away you could see this, no problem.
Altitude 125.46 feet. Speed 8.19 miles per hour.
Let's take it out there a little ways.
508.20 feet. Heading 121 degrees.
Man, it is
Signal
bright.
51%.
That is no joke. No joke. Alright. Now let's stop it right there. We'll turn it around. Wow, that is extremely bright. You could easily see this no matter where you are. Miles away, guys. That thing looks like a star. That's how bright it is. That is crazy how bright those Polar Pros are. That is no joke, man. And I'm not seeing any light casting on the camera. They don't seem to affect the camera lens at all. Craziness. Alright, that's a good enough flight. I can easily see this at night. This makes visibility 10 times better. I'm going to start bringing her down here. I think the Polar Pros are a good idea. I'll have to check on a price and put the price of these in the description. Let's go ahead and bring it back. Hopefully I don't lose satellites coming down in between these trees again. This is a really bad area to fly. I trust my skills though. I trust my skills. Let's see, we got 11 satellites still, so that's on the Rev B board. Let's roll left here a little bit. There we go. Start bringing her in closer. There we go. in for a nice landing on the driveway. Woo!
Travel 1,383.47 feet.
She went into manual mode right as I was landing. There was she went. Okay, lady. Okay. Wow. Okay. Holy mackerel. Lady. Lady. You're going AWOL. I'll turn you off. It went into manual mode right as I was landing. That was a pretty hard landing. I think it survived. It doesn't seem to have any problems, but yeah, no. Wow. See, that's the problem, guys. Watch it with your Solo flying around here, man, with no, tree cover like this. As soon as you get below those trees, she'll lose satellites really quickly. So, anyways, that's always good to remember. I like them. They're extremely bright, man. I am super happy with how bright they are. I think the Polar Pro lights are a really good investment, especially if you're doing any kind of night flying. Any aircraft in the air could easily see that white light. But it's the only downside, not strobing. Strobing would be putting off a signal letting people know. You know what I'm saying? So, very cool. It's very cool that it's like this bright at night, man. I have to give Polar Pro 100% props. Extremely cool, man. So, drone worship. And I'm out from somewhere in hazy, crummy, cloudy Tampa, Florida. Toodaloo.